been given a neck nomination for my little brother, Michael Collier. However, I'm a very responsible grown-up who hardly ever touches alcohol. Anyway, so instead of going to do a neck nomination, I'm going to do a raknomination, which is a random act of kindness. Now, we have already gone through the kids' toys and done a big bag of toys for age concern. We just happened to put a bag through our window today for a collection this week. However, we also have made a little gift parcel, and we're going to go out into the streets of York and see if we can find someone who is in need of a little gift to pick up their day. So if my able cameraman Joshi will bring the camera over here, this is the box. Look at the box. And in the box we have some money, which they can spend what they want on, a little card with a message to say, be happy. This is my favourite book of all time. It's called Be, and it's got lots of really great sort of anecdotal little sayings and things. And, you know, maybe a homeless person doesn't want to read this, maybe it does. But I've written a message inside that says, I love the wisdom of this book. Take what you need from it and then pass it on. Someone else may need it too. Now, I have to say I'm really sad to pass up this book because it is one of my absolute favourites, but hopefully it might give them a smile or the lift that they need. Also in there is a little bag of sweeties, because who doesn't need some sweets, some playing cards, who knows, and a scarf to keep them warm because it's kind of rubbish weather. Anyway, so we'll put all that back in there. Zoom out, Joshi. We've got the money, we've got a card, and we've got the bucks. Are you making people sick with the filming? And we'll head off and see if we can find someone. Here's hoping we can. I'm not always successful with this. Okay. So here I am in Museum Gardens after a very interesting afternoon. We went off in search of a homeless person to give our box to, but it was more difficult than we thought. The first chap we saw was getting moved on by the police, and the second two definitely had some kind of mental health issue and were probably not the best people to be approaching. So we eventually found a man sitting with his dog, and he seemed like a nice enough chap, and we gave him the box. I probably should have spent more time actually talking to him, but I felt typically British, even though I'm not, and it was all just a bit awkward, and it was definitely too awkward to film him. I didn't really think that was appropriate. But we gave him the box, and I managed to glance back, and he was opening the box and having a look inside. I hope that it gave him some kind of lift, although frankly he could have just taken the money and left the rest. And I was actually intrigued to find out whether or not he would have done that. So I became a bit of a stalker, and I went back around the block, and he had moved on. I didn't see the box left anywhere, so I'm hoping that he took it with him. However, I saw him then walking down the street with his friend, and he had his little dog with him. And I definitely became a bit of a stalker then. I wanted to see what would happen because, frankly, I don't really know what homeless people do. They meandered very slowly through the city of York and ended up sitting at the station. I managed to get a few pictures of them. He seemed like a nice guy. He was helping his friend who definitely had some kind of problems. And I'd like to believe that they took the money because they went and bought themselves a cup of tea at the station, and it was tea, not alcohol. And they had their tea, and I noticed that he went through his bag and was looking at the scarf, holding it up, put it back in his bag, and then they took out the playing cards, and again we're looking at that. So, you know, I have no idea whether that's going to have made his day any better, but I'd like to believe it did. And, you know, I'm hoping that it made someone's day a tiny bit brighter. So, I'm not going to nominate anyone else. If anyone would like to do a random act of kindness, just go ahead and do it. It's quite difficult to film these things, and I think actually the more spontaneous the better. So, thank you to my brother Michael for this nomination. I'm hoping that I did something good, and to the rest of you out there, go do something else instead of drinking alcohol. Okay, bye.
Where is the moment we needed the most? You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. Tell me your blue skies fade to grey, tell me your passion's gone away, and I don't need no carrying on. You stand in the line just to hit a new low. faking a smile with the coffee to go. And tell me your life's been way offline. You fall into pieces every time, and I don't need no carrying on. 'Cause you had a bad day, you're taking one down. You sing a sad song just to turn it around. You say you don't know, you tell me don't lie. You're working